Hello everyone, good morning, happy Friday. I see lots of comments coming in, and I know Friday isn't the day when you usually see me, but once a month we get to enjoy Fridays together crafting with our new Combo Club products. So if you are happening upon today's live and you aren't sure what we're doing, I am excited to share with you our Combo Club products that are coming to your doorstep. If you are one of our Combo Club members, you will be getting these products on your doorstep very soon, and I'll be introducing our supersize items. If you haven't checked your email yet this morning, you may have, because shopping has been live since 9 a.m., but I'm going to walk you through everything and how it all coordinates together, and then we get to get crafty together. So my first announcement this morning is to talk to those of you who are not Combo Club subscribers, or perhaps you signed up for our 3-month membership back when we launched that. So in preparation for the second half of our Combo Club, we are enrolling people once again into the Combo Club. So if you didn't get a chance to enroll for the first kind of kickoff, which was April, May, and June, then you now have the opportunity to enroll in the Combo Club, and then you will get July, August, and September. So we have that 3-month pre-order option that is starting today, and it goes, I think maybe for the next week or so. I'm not sure exactly the end date on that, but you have a little while to get yourself enrolled in the Combo Club if you're not already. Now, I know many of you here enrolled in the 6-month option right out of the gate, so you're here for the duration, and I'm excited about that too. So whichever camp you fall in, welcome today. And I have a couple other things to talk about, but I want to talk to some of you first. So let me say hello. Good morning, Susan. It's Friday. That's what Susan says. I love that. Hello, Paget, and Cynthia's here this morning. Marcia and Darcy, Joanne and Susan. We are only streaming on YouTube today. We have provided that link into the Facebook page. So those of you that are finding us from that Facebook link, welcome here on YouTube. We're finding just a little bit better streaming quality and capabilities through YouTube. So our Combo Clubs will be remaining only streaming through YouTube in case you need to know that information for the future. So good morning, Karen, and Debbie's here this morning, Arlene. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad all of you are here joining in, because I love this time of the month when I get to reveal the actual Combo Club that is coming to your door, plus all of the what we call supersize products to go along with it. And those are exclusive only to our Combo Club members. So if you're watching today, enjoy the crafting, but know that the products that have been released are exclusive to our Combo Club members, which is even more incentive to get yourself signed up for the Combo Club. So let's take a look. Are you guys ready?
Yes!
I know, Whitney's excited. I am super excited to share it with you as well. So let's take a look at this month's Combo Club. It is called, for perhaps one of the most used occasions in my craft room, I make a lot of birthday cards, and this month's Combo Club is called Party Pop.
Woo!
How cute is that? So this little mock-up on the front of the packaging shows both the stencil and the embossing folder in use together. They are able to be used individually, separately from each other as well. So if you remember from your initial Combo Club, or if you're not familiar with Combo Club, it comes packaged in this nice Velcro pouch. I believe the Velcro pouches that they are for sale right now only to our Combo Club subscribers. If you want to continue to put other products in these, I do believe they are almost sold out, but we do expect them back in stock very soon. So if you are looking for more of those, maybe hop on that quickly this morning, or if they are out of stock, know that we have them restocking soon. So inside of your little pouch is our Combo Club packaging insert. It gives you that mock-up on the front to show you what the stencil and embossing folder look like together. And then on the back, you have a couple different color combinations that you can try. So we've been having our designers and graphic designers here at TE pick some fun color combinations for you to try using these items. And then we have our little QR code. When you get your packaging, this will scan and take you directly to the video that you're watching right now. So it's just a great way to kind of re-engage with the samples that I'm going to show you today, and also the crafty time that we're going to spend together. So the stencil looks like this. It is 4 layers to create that fun pattern of party hats and balloons and confettis in the background. I think it turned out so cute. I love good birthday things that are really, I feel like you can use them for anyone. It's not just for, adults or just for kids. This is birthday icons that are for anyone. And you get the opportunity with that 4-layer stencil to choose your color combo. So then we have the 3D embossing folder. This one's a little harder to see. If I open this up, I can maybe get a piece of paper behind it and you can see some of that design a little bit better. There we go. How cute. So after you stencil the party hats and the balloons and the cupcakes, then you use this embossing folder and it adds all the little details. So you add polka dots to your hats and your confetti inside the balloons, and we've got some little Whitney's favorite doodly boops, little swirls on the balloons and doodly boops in the background, and it all comes together to create a really fun pattern. This is 6x6 size, so you can cut this into multiple pieces and make multiple cards. The card I'm going to be making today is A2 size, so we'll be using most of the pattern on one project. So that is your combo club. Let's talk about supersize. I'm going to put a graphic up here on the screen so you can take a look at our supersize bundle. This is an easy way for you to get a one-click purchase of all of the items that are new with this Party Pop theme. So $102.50 for all of the products that we're going to go through now. And I'm going to show you how they combine so well with the stencil and embossing folder that will be on your doorstep soon. All right, let's take a look then. So when I start pulling in some samples here, because when I first saw this pattern, it just reminded me of a fun way to celebrate the birthday boy or the birthday girl. I love saying that, especially to my nieces and nephews when it's their birthday. You just say, hey, birthday girl. So I thought that was a fun way to kind of have a sentiment pop off of this pattern. So our first 2 products in our supersize, either the bundle or purchase separately, so you can pick and choose or you can get them all. This is the birthday boy and birthday girl die sets. So the fun thing about these, not only do you get that backer, but take a look, the backer actually has etched lines in it. So when you die cut it from cardstock, it's easy to see exactly where to place those individual letters back onto your backer. So you can see Jill used the backer and then the cutout letters on this one. And that backer serves as a template because you can see those etch guidelines to allow you to perfectly place those letters right back into your backer, which I think is really helpful. I don't like dies where I have to guess how it is supposed to go together, and mine never ends up looking like it's exactly supposed to. So this template or guide will be a lifesaver for this particular product.
I love the font on this one.
Isn't that fun?
It's so unique and it's so cute.
It's playful. Playful but not too cutesy, I think, is what I love about that. So there's that. And let me show you some of the samples created by the designers. So this one is from Jill, and I love her color combo down at the bottom, but then she also showed you how the embossing folder looks by itself. So it just makes a really nice embossed background, a backdrop for any of your birthday cards. You can emboss it obviously on white or any color of cardstock, and it's just going to look amazing, giving you that whole pattern of birthday icons. Then we've got this one Susan made with the birthday boy. Again, if I get this close up, you can see how that embossing folder adds the details into your stenciled artwork, which I think is really fun. And I love this color combo that she used. So, and we're going to talk about this fun little party hat die a little bit later. And then Sue Banker made this one, putting some of our confetti dots in there, which I think is really fun. And you'll see some sparkly foil here in just a bit as well. And you can see how this works on a mini slim. So because the pattern is 6x6, you can cut this and use this on mini slims also. Okay, let's take a look then to go along with the birthday girl and birthday boy sentiments, or really any of the birthday themed sentiments you have in your collection. We have the Big Birthday Hugs stamp, and then a new die concept called Stacked Sentiment Strips. We have our sentiment strips. It's called Sentiment Strips is the name of the die, and it holds a single line of text. I use those all the time to cut out a strip of text that I want to put usually under a larger piece. So the idea with these is that you could use your birthday girl and birthday boy and then add on another sentiment, in this case, a stacked sentiment, because these dies are designed to accommodate 2 lines of text. So a lot of things in here go great if you wanted to say birthday boy, a little bit older, a lot more fabulous, or birthday girl, may your day be as awesome as you are. These 2 products are going to be great for that, but also I can see using them in lots of different ways with things that I already have. So let me show you what we're going to be making today.
Woo woo!
I know I used all these products that I just talked about. So we've got our birthday boy and birthday girl. I'm going to show you how to make a fully filled shaker. I'm not sure that it actually constitutes as a shaker if the elements inside aren't really designed to shake around. But by fully filling that, you get a really fun, sparkly design behind those die cut words. And then I just added those extra sentiments down at the bottom. We're going to use a white gel pen to highlight those embossed details in the background. And I loved the idea of kind of creating these in a monochromatic color combination. I did one of them on colored cardstock and one on white cardstock, and you could really kind of do this for any color family. So if you wanted purples or you wanted yellows, pick out 4 that kind of graduate from light to dark and use those on the background, and you have a really fun monochromatic birthday card. So those are what we'll be exploring today when it's time to get crafty. I have a few more supersized products to show you. I mentioned foiling. So of course we had to do a foilet for Party Pop. It's just too perfect not to have shiny, shimmery details. So you will have those alignment squares on the foilet panel that line up with the stencil. And if you also want to run it through the embossing folder, you can also do that after you foil. There are a couple different versions of the foilet, one that has a few more details and one that includes some of the confetti in the background and the party hat toppers. So a couple different options. You get 12 of them in this pack. And I have some fun samples that they created. So we've got this one. Susan made this one. I think this is super fun. Look at that fun foil in the background. And then she continued that foil by placing it behind her die cut word.
I love that idea.
Isn't that a great idea?
Yes.
It really just gives it some extra pop, and I love how they coordinate with each other. So I think that's super fun. And then Sue created a 5x7 birthday boy card. So let me pull back in this one that shows you the size difference there. That large sentiment still looks great on a 5x7, and she was able to get 2 of those party hats on there. They've got little strings on them so you could tie them under your chin. I think that's so cute. And then also the foilet sparkle in the background. So if you're getting into those larger 5x7 size cards, know that these products work great on that size as well. I love a good large scale birthday card, especially when you need it to be signed by the whole office, perhaps. Yes. So love
all
that.
The people, or you have little ones who write their name like so
gigantic.
Big.
Yes. If you have littles that haven't learned to write their name small yet, then that's perfect for them as well.
Need that size.
Okay, now our last item in our supersize collection this month is called the Hooray Hat. This is one hat that you can do in many different styles. So we've got one with graduated scallops that you can do in different colors. Then we have kind of the side stripe view of the hat. and the hat base, the hat toppers, little centers for the toppers, and then we've got this polka dot party hat. All of those can be placed over the top of the solid base to make it easy to build your hat. And I love a good party hat.
Me too.
We actually haven't had this large of a party hat in our collection before, and I'm really excited for finding fun new ways to use this. I think I didn't have time to execute this, but I've had in my head for a long time I wanted to do little tags with this because I thought little to from tags to hang off of your gifts with these little party hats would be adorable. So let me show you a few more party hats. This one is another one that Sue created. Look at that fun background. It just looks like a party. And then again, those confetti dots. She was having a lot of fun with our clay dots, creating streamers in the background and adding little accents to the hat and the flowers in the background. This flower looking, those are actually the toppers to the party hat. And I think they can actually double as flowers as well. So I think that's super fun. And then Jill used the party hat. I'll bring this one back in as well. And this one that Susan did. So we've got party hats on all of these. This one from Sue is the 5x7 that has the 2 party hats on it. And then this early one that we looked at from Susan with the party hat off to the side of the sentiment. And then we've got the cute little polka dot one. I love how Jill painted some of our glitter paste onto the party hat topper, the cupcake, and the little balloon as well. So really, really fun. Love it. All right, there you have it. I'll bring back all of the inspiration just in case you guys want to get a screenshot of it all together so you can remember it. We do have a Pinterest gallery that you can look at as well that shows these projects all together. So there it is. Oh, one more. We're not going to have room. Look at all that fabulous inspiration. All right, take your little screenshot now. I'll get my hands out of the way. I have a little bit of like OCD when it comes to things being straight. So I'll try to just step back. It's good enough. Take your screenshot if you want to remember these before you get your projects and get started on your own crafting. And let's get crafty. So I am going to make the pink card today. But as I mentioned before, this would be easy to replicate in lots of different colorways. Just pick your color and choose a light to dark variation of those colors, and you can have the perfect card in any color of your choice. So I love that everybody's thinking of all the different ways to use that party hat. Did Mindy say a light up Christmas tree, or I thought I saw something about a snow cone?
Yes!
That's fun.
I'm writing down all the ideas and we'll have Sue put these into
all of the out of the box things that I know. Okay, so we're going to start with strawberry milkshake cardstock. And I'm going to grab my stencils out of my little storage pouch. And we will start with layer 1. So that's etched down into the bottom corner. And I'm going to put that right over the top of my paper. And grab some teal tape.
Charlie has the link for the Pinterest board up.
Oh,
so.
good. Okay, another way to find all of those cards so you can be inspired at any moment. Okay, so the first ink color that I'm using is Strawberry Milkshake. I've got my glass board buddy. It does not leave my glass board, does it, Whitney? It just stays here all the time. I don't have to look for it. In fact, I think I was saying on one of our last lives, we need to get a few more of these up here since we have so many glass boards.
Yes. We craft in all the places. It's
I know.
Probably just like everyone else's homes. It's like, oh, I'm going to craft right here, and then I move, and then, oh, we're going to take out some stuff over here.
Yes. Some days we've covered every surface with some kind of crafting project, and My brain, it just does not usually finish a project before the next idea wants to be explored. So I usually have like 3 different things going.
Taylor, I think you're in good company. If
Yes.
you ask these folks, they're probably the same way. Ooh, I could do this.
Do you guys do that too? I feel like sometimes I drive myself crazy and I just wish I could finish something fully. But sometimes I'll even get like most of the way finished and I just can't quite get it completely finished because I just so badly want to move on to the next cool idea. So give me a thumbs up or a heart if you're with me in that.
Oh, you know I am. I tornado my way through stuff. I'm like, oh, and you could use this, and we could do this, and we have this idea.
Yes. Michelle, that's a good question. She asked if we offer these items outside of the Combo Club at a later date. So the Combo Club items itself, so like the stencil and the embossing folder that I'm using now, will not be released later into our collection. Those are something only exclusive to the Combo Club members. But the other supersize items, sometimes later, kind of following the end of our Combo Club, we reevaluate things and decide that maybe some of those items have room in our collection and other times they don't. So it's kind of not really, that's not like a perfect answer for you, but yes, sometimes they do appear in our collection at a later date. All right, so this second layer is bubble gum. A little bit darker pink than the strawberry milkshake. I know on the fan page this week, I think maybe it was April who shared that. I know there's been a resource that I created last year during our birthday celebration to show different monochromatic colorways in every color of the rainbow. So there was one for pink and one for yellow and orange, and so that was floating around on the fan page. So if you're looking for monochromatic color combo ideas, maybe head over to the Fans of Tailored Expressions and get some inspiration on how to create this look in other combos.
Did you see that Bonnie said she sometimes has to get up in the middle of the night just to sketch down the idea, and then her brain will let her rest?
Oh,
that sounds like you too. You have an idea pop up, and
that was me before Henry came along. Now it's like every minute of sleep I can get, I have to take it. I don't think my body wakes up in the night unless he needs something. Mm-hmm. I don't do those spontaneous wake ups anymore. I always used to say, though, my best ideas would come in the shower. Does anybody else get shower ideas? Maybe it's like,
ooh, we should try that. Or, ooh, this sounds fun. It's like my only time that there's no one chattering at me.
I think that's probably why, yeah. And it's just kind of a relaxing, quiet space that I don't get very often. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And never for long enough. So
in the wintertime, I always say my hobbies are taking showers,
yes,
drinking warm fluids like coffee or tea. It's like I can never get enough of that.
All right, this third layer, this was the lollipop. I do know John sleeps with like a notepad next to his desk, or next to him on his nightstand next to where he sleeps, and often he's big into writing. He'd love to write a book someday, so I think he's like mentally preparing. He even has like the chapters mapped out, and so he keeps a little notepad by his desk in case, or by his nightstand, so that when inspiration strikes in the middle of the night, he's ready to write it down. Okay, so this final layer, instead of a fourth pink color, because I am stenciling onto a colored cardstock instead of white cardstock, then we can use sugar cube ink as one of our colors.
Ooh.
So I'm going to do that for the final layer. And we're just going to, I don't know. I'm looking at this pad thinking, have we re-inked it lately?
Ooh, I can get you another one.
It's always kind of deceiving though until I pick up my stencil to see like how much ink is actually being applied, but it does feel maybe a little bit dry. Not that it won't work, it'll just take me longer. And sometimes I wonder if people feel like watching me blend is like watching paint dry, or is it fun? I don't know. All right, let me try this guy. See if it's a little bit more.
Don't tempt me with a good time. I'm going to take that sugar cube right now.
Whitney's going to take it. And, oh, yes, this one's a little bit juicier, so we're good there. Whitney to the rescue. She's off to do one of her favorite things, which is re-ink ink pads. I do think there's something particularly satisfying about re-inking pigment ink pads.
Yes!
It's like watching the gooey soak into the spongy surface is
super fun.
it's fun. Okay. Sherry, that's a good question. Do blending brushes not work well with the white ink? We do have a white blending brush, but I do find that it's harder on my hand to drag it across the surface. Dragging that pigment ink, because it's a little stickier, just takes more, just a little more elbow grease. And I find that I don't get quite as much color onto the cardstock. So I'm having to layer many layers of white ink using the blending brush method. So I do prefer a sponge dauber.
I always love the reveal after you do the sugar cube on cardstock.
Yes.
On the colored cardstocks.
I am gonna have to peek underneath and just make sure that I got enough, because it is kind of hard to tell until you lift up the stencil to see how much ink is underneath. What's everybody doing this beautiful weekend?
Yes!
We have a grad party tomorrow. I don't know if we're gonna go or not. Charlie and your son Saxon have tennis lessons tomorrow.
Tennis lessons with Papa.
With Grandpa, yes, I love that.
Love it.
My dad taught me to play tennis.
Oh man.
What about you? Whatever happened there? How come you didn't have to play tennis with Dad?
They probably were like, she's a lost cause. She has no athletic skills.
Oh, funny. Yeah, Charlie had to confirm that our Charlie at TE had to confirm that Charlie is also my daughter's name. So sometimes that gets us in trouble. Charlie here at TE is not taking tennis lessons this weekekend. At least I don't think so. I mean, that would be a coincidence.
True. Yeah, we're not doing much. We're doing some yard work because, you know, everything's blooming now.
Yes.
We're in full bloom. I want to do my pots and plants and all the things, so gotta do that.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I was taking that away. And all right. Let's do the big reveal. Look at that. See those, the white just pops off of that pink, and I love how that looks. So I'm going to pull this up into the screen so you can see it a little bit better, and then we're going to wipe our surface before we move on. So just a fun monochromatic pattern. And we're going to make that white pop even more when we add details with the white gel pen. So let me go ahead and clean off the surface here. Gotta get a little bit more alcohol on the adhesive that I put down. Make it sound like a squeaky mouse to get off that. Okay. All right. I will wait. Actually, Whitney,
You want me to wash that?
I don't know if you get a lot of satisfaction out of stencil washing, but I'll save that part for later. You don't have to do it right now.
Well, when in Rome.
Why not,
yes.
right? Why wait? Okay, we're going to take this. As I mentioned, I'm going to make these into A2 cards. So we're going to cut down this pattern into an A2 layer size, which is 4 by 5 1/4. You can do that with your paper trimmer, or I like to use our A2 layer stacklet dies. I think they're probably my most used die set. Lori Craig always says that too. There is not a card that she does not use the A2 layer stacklets for. So it just makes kind of centering up that pattern and finding the spot that you really like so much easier. So I am cutting, there are those alignment squares over here that I'm trying to avoid. And I'm pushing it over as far as I can so that maybe I can find something to use this other side for down the road. Oh, we're being asked for tea, Whitney.
Woo! They didn't get tea yesterday.
I know. Heather sent in her cards, so she didn't have any tea to spill. All right, let's go ahead and cut this out. And there is a reason why I'm cutting it before I'm embossing it. That's because if you cut after you emboss, going back through the die cut machine is just going to smush your embossing. So knowing that I'm going to use the embossing folder, I want to make sure to do all of my cutting on that panel first. So let's take out the little thin die adapter, and I'm going to go ahead and do the embossing next. I need my little, what do we call this?
Embossing pad kit.
Thank you. The embossing pad kit. It comes in a pack of 2, so there's a thin and a thick. Depending on the tension of your machine, I never use both of them together. If you have a really new machine, you might want to start with just the thin one. My machine is well loved, so I'm going to use just the thick one. And then we're going to find our embossing folder here, and we're going to put this back down so that when we run this through, it's got the embossing pad kit, the clear folder, the embossing folder, I think, right? Or do I leave that clear out of there? Nope, I leave that out. Sorry, sometimes I forget. So we don't need the bottom clear pad. We only need our embossing pad kit, embossing folder, and then the clear pad over the top. And then we'll send that through once I get my paper in there. A couple other tips to talk about with this. We always want to put the folder through with this top edge going in first. And then also to help with 3D embossing folders, because they have so many 3D embossing folders basically have 4 depths. There's the lowest depth of the embossing folder, which is nothing. And then there's 3 depths above that that give you all of the various layers of texture that you get with a 3D embossing folder. And that's awesome, but it's also squishing and scrunching your paper more than a regular 2D embossing folder. So to help that, I like to take a baby wipe. Actually, I don't like to. I think it's a necessary step to take something and moisten the back of the paper. That's going to prevent cracking, and it's also going to help that paper squish into those openings and give you a better alignment if you first moisten it with a baby wipe. I like to use a baby wipe because they're not super wet. You don't want something that is, getting your paper visibly soaked. Just enough, kind of just a wipe along the back. You will see a little bit of curling. That's how you know that your paper has been moistened, is it will start to curl a little bit. Then when we go to align this into our embossing folder, let's find where that lines up. It is going to line up absolutely perfectly with your stencil design. But because of the way that the paper squishes and as the embossing folder continues to go from top to bottom, the paper continues to squish up into those openings, and you can sometimes see that towards the bottom of your design, the embossing gets off a little bit more as you get down towards the bottom. So to combat that just a little bit, I am going to shift my paper just a hair lower. So just a tiny bit lower so that when it pulls through, it's going to start pulling that paper up, and we've already slightly shifted it just a touch lower. So let me get this in here for you guys, and maybe you can see right on that balloon, I have just a touch underneath that balloon that's not fully lined up within the balloon, and that's actually the way that I want it. Does that make sense? Hopefully. And I'm going to make sure that I have that traveling all the way down, and then as soon as I get that where I want it, I'm going to close it between the folder and send it through with that folded end first, and then our clear piece over the top. And then when we pull this out, I'm going to show you, it has not traveled to where it's so far off at the bottom that it looks kind of misaligned. So just that tiny little hair, you can see it up here a little bit, but it really helps as it travels down for the rest of that pattern to be in place. So hopefully that helps some of you that might be having challenges when lining up the embossing folder with the stencil. There's nothing wrong with the products, it's just the way that you have to kind of shift them based on how they perform and what they're doing, which is basically, see, look at, if I turn it over, they're squishing your paper into all these little crevices. So that does create a challenge, a little bit of a challenge. That this is how we manage that challenge, by moistening the back of the paper and very slightly shifting that, that paper. All right.
That's a great tip. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of explaining, and sometimes it takes several times of hearing it before and even trying it. I know it can be frustrating after you have blended this whole thing, and then you know, you don't want to do a ton of trial and error with unusable pieces, but I think if you just keep testing that out, that you will get the hang of exactly what I mean by a hair, and you'll be happier with the alignment as it continues down the pattern. All right, so let's go ahead then, and should we make our shaker element? That's kind of the fun part of this project.
Shake, shake, shake.
I don't know, what do we call it if it's not a shaker? Is it still a shaker if it doesn't like move? If the,
I mean, it moves.
It does move a little bit.
Just
It's a full shaker. So, okay, we are gonna actually, I took my die cut machine away, but we are going to go ahead and die cut some more. So let me grab my thin adapter piece here, and then my bottom plate and my top plate. That's gonna get everything ready to be die cut. I wanted to create a cute little scalloped border across here, so I have this set, which is called More Easy Edgers. Some really fun designs in here, but this is the border that I chose for this project. And I'm going to line it up so that those scallops are straight across the bottom of my cardstock. I'll get my tape ready before we really get it in place. Okay.
We're going to make some cards today.
Are we?
Yes.
We get to be crafty?
I have a big list of to-dos.
Whitney has my trays all laid out for me. This one
Project
next,
Trace.
this one next, this one next. Everything
All
is
due
ready.
Today.
Right.
As soon as possible.
There was one on it this week that said due today. I was like, okay, today. Got it.
When did I write that was the question. When did I write today? What day was it?
I think it was that day. Okay, let's go ahead and send this back through on the other end. And then with both of those scalloped edges cut, I am gonna center my birthday girl in between. This time we don't need to use the shadow because I'm only going to use the cut-in. It's all together as one die, not intended to be separated. So these tabs here that hook the two words together, don't separate those. They are pretty strong. They won't separate without something really heavy duty anyway. But just so you know, this is designed to stay this way. And actually, I'm going to cut this a second to make sure that it is the length that I want it, which is 4 inches. And cut a little bit off of this one side first. And then, am I in frame here? I am. Okay. So 4 inches is the size. And then we can easily center top to bottom, left to right, that birthday girl. Okay, feel good about that. And we'll send that through. Ooh, Whitney, I remember what I don't have.
What?
Acetate.
That is very important.
It is very important. Can you grab me a little piece? Thank you. Okay, so something to think about with these, they do have, like the B has little pieces that fall out, and the D and the R. I thought it looked fun without them, so I didn't save those and place them back in on my design. I just left it just like it cuts. But if you want to place those back in, just make sure you save your die cuts, and then you can just pop those back on top of the acetate when you're done. There was on my birthday boy card, these letters are a little bit bigger than these, and I thought that O needed some closure in the center, and the B I added back in. So you can do that, or you don't have to. Oh, yes. Michelle says, I'm not the only one that cuts using my paper trimmer in the air. Oh, no, I do that all the time. I rest it on my hip even, and just, yep, wherever you need to cut.
That is skill.
Okay, let's cut a little piece of acetate then to go on the back of this. Just want enough to cover those words. I think I'm done die cutting for a little bit until we get to our other part of our sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this on the back. Make sure you get enough around the outside edges and also in between the words to kind of hold them down and make sure that that doesn't pop up.
Can you tell us the size of that paper? You said 4 inches, but what's the other dimension?
Oh, yes. It is, well, I don't think this is really necessary to be 2 7/8. It's 2 7/8 this way by 4 inches this way, but you could do 3. I think I would maybe suggest 3 by 4. 3 by 4. That's easy to remember. So I think I was just using maybe a scrap that we had left over, and it happened to work great for this, but 3 by 4 will get you what you need. Okay, so now we're gonna make our shaker. This is a little bit different shaker also, in that typically I use our 1/8 inch foam tape, which is the highest dimension. In this case, since I'm filling it completely full, I want to use a lower dimension foam tape, so I'm using less of my shaker bits. So I have our 1/16 inch foam tape, and I'm just going to cut some strips of this. And then we'll get to building our shaker. Our shaker well, I like to call it.
Lisa is asking, is there any reason why you wouldn't make this just a regular shaker and not add it so full? And there's really not. It's just the look, whatever look you're...
Right. Yeah, you could do this as a regular shaker. I just think you get more of that, oh, what's behind there? Especially with the shaker material that I chose. It's so fine and small that I think it's perfect for this kind of shaker. If I were to make a regular shaker, I might use some other shaker material that's a little more weighty, yes. I guess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you could make it as a shaker itself, a normal one. Okay, so this first piece I'm going to put right across the top of the birthday, and this is kind of important because this is how we're going to fill our shaker all the way up, so we can make sure that it's full. And I've done this a couple different ways and just found this to be the best, easiest way. And the more space you can kind of cover with the foam tape around the edge, as opposed to going all the way around the outside, again, that's only going to increase the amount of shaker material you need to use. So I'm really trying to stay close to the letters so that we're not using unnecessary shaker bits. Getting there. I'll hold this up into the camera so that you can see how it kind of came together. And you do want to make sure that all of these pieces of foam are touching, because those little bits can escape.
Don't let them out!
Don't let them out. Don't let the cat out of the bag.
Otherwise it'll be like, remember when they used to put glitter in the bottom of envelopes and you would
yes.
open it?
Or it'd be like an explosion. Bomb. Yeah, like a glitter bomb. I mean, if you wanted to let them out, it could be a glitter bomb.
Yes.
That could be fun too. Okay, so here's what that looked like. Now, the reason I placed this long piece at the top is because we're going to seal up all the other edges of our shaker, and we're going to use this long area to pour in our shaker bits so that we can watch it and make sure that it gets full all the way to the top. So let's go ahead. Actually, I had another piece here, this one. I'm gonna cut this piece down maybe 2.5 by 3 3/4. Let's try that. I'm just doing a little guesswork here. And that fits. That was a pretty good guess, if I do say so myself. So
crushed it.
That's gonna be adhered down over the top, but we're not peeling the backing off of this area. So just around the outsides. And this little one at the top. Okay, but this one is still on there. So we're gonna go ahead and press this onto the foam tape. Just like that. And then we can still get into our shaker element through this piece at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the shaker bits in. I'm using these sparkly circles. You'll notice mine are in a bottle, and we do sell them. They come to you in a little baggie. I find these easier to kind of pour out of here. So I transferred mine into a bottle. We sell these bottles separately. If you have other things you want to store in these little embellishment bottles, they are available for purchase with nothing in them if you just want the storage solution. So
we've kept our odds and ends in there, like little brads or buttons
yeah,
that we have left over from other things. They're great.
Okay, I'm gonna start pouring in there, and then we'll hold it closed and kind of let it shake around and see about how much we have left to continue pouring in there. And the more you kind of pull it open, they fall down into the bottom. So I would say as you get closer to the top, just be careful and aware not to over pour.
Party.
Oops, there was
okay, we have our back.
My glitter bomb for the day. Okay, let's get those. Yeah, so I guess to answer the question from earlier, what might it look like if you made it like a regular shaker card? You just don't get like the definition of the letter as being completely filled with all shaker bits, but it's certainly doable. Sorry about my mess here. I feel bad. I don't want to vacuum them up. I need to like
save them.
Find a way to put them back in the bottle. Okay. We're getting closer, just kind of pressing those glitter pieces into place, and then as I hold it, I'm going to tap it down, and it looks like there's room for an itty bitty more. So we're going to go one more time. I was going to say that I found this much easier and less messy than kind of turning it over and pouring into it and then having to peel the sides off and worrying about getting them all stuck in the sides. So I still think it's less messy even though I made a mess. So let's go ahead and kind of push those little circles into place there. Get them down into the other end here. Okay, I think I'm ready to pull the backing paper. I have a little paintbrush here so I can kind of clean off, if I can, some of those little bits. And then we'll go ahead and pull the backing paper from the foam tape. I'm doing that here as it's hard to see or catch it on camera, but I grabbed a little end of the tape and I can just pull that out. It's going to bring with it some of my little shaker bits, and that's okay. And we'll just press that down, and we've got our fully filled shaker element.
Ooh.
How fun! I love that. Okay, let me clean up my mess here, and then we'll finish it off. There's enough here to try to save, right?
Okay, yes. If you scooch it to the side, I'll get it done.
Okay.
Scoochy?
There we go. I scooched.
I love that word. It's kind of like, what was the word for fluffing pillows? I forget.
Oh, it does have a word.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that word too.
I can't remember it.
I can't either.
It's like scooching and zhuzhing.
Zhuzh.
Is that it? Zhuzh your pillows?
I mean, zhuzh is another one.
I zhuzh everything.
This needs a little zhuzh.
All right, let's go ahead and glue this down then. It's already got the foam tape behind it, so we can just use our regular adhesive. It does take a little bit to get it stuck to the embossed background, and so I'm going to show you what I did, which I thought was fabulous. So sometimes when you have those textured papers or embossed papers, it's hard to get your things to stick to it. So I took my big magnet and I sat it there for a bit, and it stuck down perfectly. You can also use liquid glue if you like that. I'm going to move it up there for just a second while we finish stamping our sentiment. I've got the big birthday hugs.
Do you have enough white paper? Or you need
I
more?
do. I have a good little scrap of white here that I think will work. And Let's choose something different. I did the other one as a little bit older, a lot more fabulous.
Ooh!
And may your day be as awesome as you are. So, how about cheers to another amazing year of you?
Ooh, I like that.
Is that the biggest one? Ooh, that's the biggest one. I used the biggest one. Okay, super. Happy about it. Okay, so we're going to stamp this with the VersaFine Claire Nocturne. It does not matter if it's straight on my Misty because I'm going to cut it out with the coordinating die after we stamp it. And here's that die that coordinates. It fits, the sentiments in this set fit all the different dies in that stacked sentiments die set. Okay. All right, so this is easy from here. We've got sugar cube card base, and we're gonna place down our backer piece. This time I'm gonna use some liquid glue. Sometimes getting on top of and in the crevices of the embossing folders can be kind of hard, so liquid glue does a good job of that. And then I can't forget my little white gel pen accents either.
You went all out.
I know.
I love it.
Well, I mean, why not? Just one more thing. That's the way my brain works. Okay. Go ahead and adhere this. Just put a little adhesive kind of on the top of the sentiment, and the bottom is okay, just kind of hanging off. And then I can grab my white gel pen. I have the Milky Pop. We sell also the Sakura white gel pen, so kind of up to you what you prefer. If I get in a little closer here, you guys can see that I just used the embossing folder details to kind of be my guide as I added these white gel pen accents. So just a little bit of kind of tracing the lines, adding little the little polka dots on the cupcakes, or the, not polka dots on the cupcakes, sprinkles on the cupcakes and polka dots on the hats. And just kind of, actually I think this one was working better. Sometimes I warm them before I use them, like hold on to them a little bit, because it kind of helps the
ink flow.
The flow. But I obviously didn't do that here. This one is doing great.
Should I get us a gel pen warmer? Remember how they had bottle warmers?
Yes.
That
for
came
our
out
kids.
after my first two. That was like a new thing. I don't think I had that.
Yeah, we used a bottle warmer a lot. Okay. Add a few dots into the balloons. Top of the party hat. I won't make you guys watch me add all of these, but you can get a good idea just how fun that is. If I put the other card right up next to it, you can see how much it really adds to the background to add in all of those little accents. So I'll keep accenting. There was a reason why I adhered all of this before I started the accents, because I didn't want to waste my time doing all the little details and then gluing something over it. So that was my reasoning about why I did it that way. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the project today. I'll bring this back in too so you can get the boy idea in there. But let's say a proper farewell on this fabulous Friday and give you a little lay of what's to come. So tomorrow we have our product reveal video that will be out on the fan page. So definitely tune in for that. And we have a fun release coming next week. So I'm excited to share it with you guys. And then on Tuesday, I will be live at our normal time, 10 a.m. Central. New products go live at 9 a.m. Central. And then I believe Susan will be back live next week. So mark your calendars for 10 a.m. on Thursday, and you can create with Susan. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. If you're celebrating your mom or you're being celebrated, wonderful women all around us. So have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you next week.